Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, Bob Iger resigns from Apple's board of directors. Air travel is about to get more difficult if you live in certain states. And a little later on, we'll talk about Diz contributor David Tubbs' 10-step guide to not being a jerk at Walt Disney World. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 1048 for the week of September 17th, 2019. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And by DizBoards.com. Have questions about your Disney vacation? Join millions of other Disney fans who have the answers. From theme parks to cruise line to Disney Vacation Club and much more, our forums will help you get the most out of your next trip. Head over to DizBoards.com and join in the conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
From moving to the Magic and moving to Orlando and all the other things that we're doing, Mr. Eric Gross.
Hello.
Julie Martin.
Hey, y'all.
And back in the production nook on the controls, Fiasco.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, folks, to the show. You may have noticed I did not say that we were live because we are not. We're actually recording this on Monday because some plans I have tomorrow. I'm not going to be here. Craig and Rhino are out covering some of the Halloween events out in California, so this just made the most sense. Unfortunately, John and Kevin are back, so we haven't seen you in a couple weeks. So
just got back.
They just flew in, and boy, are their arms tired.
Flew in. We drove.
You drove.
Home, yeah.
I know. What are you, crazy?
A little bit.
You were antiquing.
Well,
they were antiquing.
The story is, I said to Kevin, that, we talked about flying home, and it was going to be a big thing about getting back to Newark from the Jersey Shore and leaving so much early. I said, let's just drive. We had a comfortable car. So he said, okay, that sounds great. So the first thing that happens, and I said, let's drive home, Kevin buys a decorative oar.
I saw that. Yes.
As you do. For our home in Florida.
I can shop now.
I can shop. I'm going to buy the biggest, most awkward thing I can find because I know it'll fit in the back.
We had a really comfortable car, and from where we were to get back to the airport, it would have been 6 hours. We would have had to leave 6 hours in advance,
to return the car and, get there early enough and all that.
Because we were 3 hours south, and we had to return a rental car and get to the airport 2 hours early. So we thought, well, that's 6 hours. Let's just go the other way. We had a really comfortable car.
Yeah. And we didn't mind it. We had fun.
I don't care how comfortable it is. That's a long drive.
I mean, were you driving an RV so that you both got to relax? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, no, it was fine.
I enjoyed it. And again, we got to shop because we didn't have to pack for an airplane. I found vintage Louis Vuitton in Cape May.
Well, there you go. Well, God, I'm just glad to have you back. We're back for a couple of weeks, and then all of us, the three of us, along with Sean, are out in Europe for our London, Paris ABD.
London, Paris, Disneyland, Paris.
And Disneyland, Paris.
Very excited about
Very
that.
exciting.
I haven't been one more week.
I haven't been to Disneyland, Paris.
Since the last time we went.
Yeah, since the last time we did this trip, which was 2013.
Yeah.
2013. So it's been a long time. It'd be nice to go back.
I think we went in between that.
Yeah, you did. You
We
did
did a river cruise and then hiked on over.
That was in 2015, I believe.
My God, I don't know.
Sure.
If you say so.
It was 2015. All right, so just a couple things in housekeeping. First, I can't believe I have to say this again, but we need auction items. We're going to be doing our marathon show the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I don't have the exact date in front of
I thought
me.
you said it was the 30th.
Whatever that Saturday after Thanksgiving is, doing our marathon show again this year. We're going to be doing another silent auction to raise money for Give Kids the World. And they are a hand bid. The company that handles the auction is assuring me that we will not have the problem we had at the end of our last auction. But we need your auction items. Give Kids the World has found some incredible stuff. some incredible stuff for us to put up for auction. So you want to send that out to Teresa at the Welcome Center, 6505 North Atlantic Avenue, Suite B.
I think it's 6550.
6550, it is 6550 North Atlantic Avenue, Suite B, Cape Canaveral, Florida, 32920 is the address. I think I got that right. Double check that zip code, but I'm almost positive I'm correct. You can send your stuff there, and Teresa will take good care of it. I know
No, she won't.
She hates me right now because she just got everything out from the last auction.
She just finished crisis counseling.
Yeah.
She actually called me and said, "Tell Pete, let's not do a real auction. Let's not have items for the auction."
Let's just do all experiences. But going to have a lot of cool stuff, going to have a lot of fun. If you remember last year's 12-hour show, that's where Eric and I introduced the whole moving to the magic
I can't believe it's almost been a year. That's
effort.
wild.
And it's almost been a year. And you can find Eric on Facebook, the Moving to the Magic Facebook group, really active group there of people that are looking to move to Orlando. And
yeah, it's a really good place to like ask questions, get answers of what it's like living here, and it's been a great resource to a lot.
It's a very active group.
Yeah,
it's a very active group. And if they want to reach you, Eric, what's the best email?
Eric@movingtothemagic.com.
There you go. Also want to put out a plug for our friends over at Magic Candle Company, one of our sponsors. Fall is coming. I'm the person that burns candles all year round. I don't care. I was very surprised to find out that people don't tend to burn candles in the summer.
I don't burn candles ever.
It's not like they throw heat, but at least depending on how many you're burning. I mean, I guess if you're burning 20, it's going to get a little warm. But anyway, we're coming into the fall season. They have some great fragrances. And they just came out. He just came out with Bubble Bath, which looks really. There's a pirate one and a pixie one.
Yeah. No idea what pixie is, but
that's the one you'll get. Because he loves his bubble baths back there.
That's true.
He is an enigma, isn't he?
Wrapped in a riddle.
Growing boobies.
What is that?
It's a line from Will and Grace. He's a conundrum, wrapped in an enigma, growing boobies.
Okay. So yeah, MagicCandleCompany.com. Use code DisneyInfo at checkout. Get 15% off your order. A lot of great Halloween candles. A lot of great fall scents.
It's candle season.
Mouse Waffles is one of my all-time favorites. And they're also selling this really cool, I've got it in the kitchen. They're selling this really cool wax melt burner. It looks like it's a tiki. And it's the best wax melt burner. I usually don't have a lot of luck with those. And their wax melts are great. And right now I have mouse waffles in there.
Yeah.
So code DisneyInfo at checkout saves you 15% on that.
Oh, I'm gonna do a synergistic plug then.
Okay, is that a new word you made up?
It is a new word I made up. Add it to the dictionary. If you book through a cruise through Dreams Unlimited Travel, you get one of our Dreams Unlimited Travel gift bags. Mm-hmm. The things you didn't know you needed gift bag. And Pete is putting in each gift bag something from the Magic Candle Company.
It's a air freshener, the Castaway Cruise air freshener, which is what got me hooked on this company when I used that on my San Juan cruise back in January, and fell in love with it because it absolutely filled the room. This little thing, this little air freshener. So yeah, we're including those in all our gift bags.
And Pete is including a special note personally signed by him.
And Teresa just told me last week that they're almost out. Signed 5,000 of these notes. And she says, we're almost out. I'm like, you got to be kidding. So the box just came with 5,000 more that I got to sit. And I'm signing every one of them by hand just because I'm stupid. But
it means a lot more than a stamp. That's for sure.
I just don't like the idea of stamping my name. It just seems so impersonal. And
it makes you feel like the governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or auto pen. The president uses auto pen. So not if we're going to do a plug, let's do a plug. You're not only getting the gift bag when you book a cruise through Dreams, you also get the shipboard credit, up to $1,500 depending on your cruise. And John and I are owners of Dreams Unlimited Travel, so just want to make sure we get that out there. The only other plug I'm going to do is for our other shows. I really haven't done that in a long time. We have our Moving to Orlando shows that go up every week. I believe those go up on
Monday.
Our DVC shows, Disney Vacation Club shows, go up on Monday. Of course, we have our Disneyland show, which goes up on Wednesday. And then there's, of course, this one on Tuesday. We have our Universal show, goes up on Thursdays. We have our Disney Dining show, which I believe goes up on Friday.
Yep.
And I'm pleased to announce that beginning the early to middle of next month, we're going to be launching a Disney Cruise Line show as well. But also, of course, connecting with Walt, with Craig Williams and Michael Bowling. Great if you're interested in the history of Disney. So we have this full slate of shows that we put out. And I'm praying I didn't forget one.
Dreams Unlimited Travel Show.
There we go.
Monday-ish.
I was just going to say.
Every week-ish. We've had a little travel and haven't been able to record something in a while, so.
Well, that's why I'm literally recording 16 shows this week, because we're going to be gone for so long, and I need to make sure we're caught up. So I'm recording dining shows this week. The new DCL shows we're recording this week. Just got done recording the Moving to Orlando shows, and then next week the DVC shows. So, but it's fun and we love it. And so, find all these shows youtube.com/DizUnplugged, or just go to DizUnplugged.com, and it's all there. So that's it for my plugs.
I have something to tease.
No show and leg. We talked about this.
No, I shave all that off. I don't have pricing. I don't have dates. But I want people to start thinking. Autumn, south of France.
Next autumn.
Next autumn.
Not this.
September. No.
You think in September for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Autumn in the south of France.
I can do that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Autumn in Provence.
Oh, they make the best soaps.
They have
They
good
make-
herbs too.
They make the best subs.
Soaps.
Soaps.
I'm
Yes.
missing the connection.
I love their submarine sandwiches.
The Provencal subs are
They're really
not to be
good.
missed.
I thought I paid attention. But I
No.
don't want to look stupid,
They
but
do.
Soaps. The soaps are amazing.
Marseille is the center of soap.
So, all right. Be thinking about it, folks.
Autumn, south of France.
All right. Anything else for housekeeping?
I know that Corey thanked everyone last week, but I appreciate all the love and support that people have given to us. Reaching out personally, sending cards, messages, just sharing your own tragic losses with me. It really does help. And today marks a month, so today is a really hard day. But I just don't think I could express how much it really means to me and to my family and to my immediate family. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Okay, you can take it off of me.
Okay. All right. With that, let's go ahead and turn it over to John with the
All
news.
right. Our first news story. Disney CEO Bob Iger resigns from Apple Board of Directors. According to an SEC filing this past week, Disney CEO Bob Iger has resigned from the Board of Directors for Apple. With Disney Plus launching on November 12th and Apple TV Plus available on November 1st, the two companies will likely be in direct competition in the streaming video service market, causing a possible conflict of interest. Iger said in a statement, quote, "It has been an extraordinary privilege to have served on the Apple board for 8 years, and I have the utmost respect for Tim Cook, his team at Apple, and for my fellow board members. Apple is one of the world's most admired companies, known for the quality and integrity of its products and its people, and I am forever grateful to have served as a member of the company's board." Not a big surprise.
Not a big surprise. I hadn't thought about it, that with Apple coming out with its own streaming service, and of course Disney Plus
Yeah.
is, I gotta be honest, we hear about all sorts of announcements from Disney. Disney Plus is shaping up to the kind of buzz around this.
Yeah.
is comparable to what I was hearing for the first reboot of the Star Wars franchise. People, I think it may be even bigger.
Yeah.
People are insane
Yeah.
about this. And you know what? I'm right there with you. I'm already signed up. I already took advantage of the D23 early sign-up thing where you get it for 3 years, which was brilliant on their
Yep,
part
it was.
to lock people in so you can't cancel. You paid it all up front, so
They're doing a similar discount for Disney Visa reward card holders. I got that in the mail as well. So they're out there advertising to everybody. I think what's really interesting is everybody I talk to, my brother, my nephew, everybody is like excited about it. Like they're really into getting it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get it because we own everything Disney and we have every streaming service in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm excited about the Apple one, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to
me
see the
too.
morning show.
I'm interested to see what they produce.
Well, there's this new show coming out with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, and
Yeah.
I'll
Yep.
watch it. And
That's-
Steve Carell.
that's what I
And
would
Steve
watch.
Yeah, I
Carell.
saw that too, and I'm like, I'm in. I'm
I
in for
think
both.
That's exactly
yeah,
the words I use.
I'm in for both. Yeah.
So
But-
you're thinking Disney for the original content, or are you thinking Disney for the movies?
Oh, I think both. I think I'm hearing a lot of buzz about the original content that they've announced, but also because of the ridiculous library they now own,
Yeah.
especially after the acquisition of Fox. Now, the question is, are they going to, what kind of impact are they going to have on Netflix? Currently, right now, I don't want to be Netflix because not only is Disney about to release this behemoth that is just going to take, it's just going to take all the attention. But you have Apple coming out, the one of the most valued companies in the world, almost $1 trillion market value for Apple, second only to Microsoft. And they are banking on this being a success because iPhone sales have flagged. It's not as big. Sales aren't as robust as they were. And the fact that 3 days after the announcement, I was still able to do a pre-order for a new iPhone and it will be here on release day tells me this one isn't going to change the world either.
People are holding on to their phones longer. That's
Yeah.
what's happening. Is
Well,
that
people have gotten tired of I need a new
Right.
phone every year.
every year they don't want to do that.
Except
thing.
me.
Well, again, we have every streaming service. You
Yeah.
get the new phone.
Have to have
That-
I
every.
literally got a new phone 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So
But the thing is this. Okay, don't worry about Netflix. As long as Netflix is making Stranger Things, they're going to be fine.
yeah, but here's the thing. I was reading this today. Netflix is facing a backlash because they are canceling these original series after about season 3. They pay up front because there's no syndication deals, right? This is not going to, like when you do a network thing, there's a syndication deal, and a lot of people make their money out of these actors, and producers make their money in syndication. Well, Netflix doesn't allow that. So they're paying this premium up front. And so by season 3, these shows become very expensive to produce. And that's why you see them. They just, I'm very, very upset they canceled the OA.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That was probably one of the most ingenious and inventive,
Brilliant.
series
Yeah.
I've ever watched. They canceled it, and the other one with Eric McCormick. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but I was really invested in that one, and they canceled it again after I think season 3. So Stranger Things will probably buck the tide, at least for the time being. I think the fact that, because people are literally unsubscribing, they got rid of all the Marvel stuff, they canceled all the Marvel stuff. That was more, I think, a function of Disney going their own way. But
Orange is the New Black ended. All of those.
they start getting too expensive, and they kill them. And this is, and people, it was an article, I think, in the Washington Post or the New York Times today about how this is starting to get concerning for Netflix, because there's a whole trend right now online on social media to cancel Netflix because of these cancellations. So they've got that gun to their head. Now they've got Apple coming at them. They've got Disney coming at them. Very interested to see what happens with that. I don't think Disney is going to be a true alternative to Netflix, because I don't think Disney is going to go get the rights to Friends and get the
Agreed.
rights to,
Yep.
you know.
Or Seinfeld, they just
I'm
did
literally
Netflix.
watching, I think this is my 4th time through watching Frazier.
Didn't Netflix just get the rights to Seinfeld?
Yes. That's
And
replacing
Friends
Friends.
is going away, yeah.
That's because they
And
got rid
also,
of Friends.
Disney's not going to get the same slew of films. They're not going to go after, the more adult.
Yeah, but now that they own Fox,
films.
they can show Sunset Boulevard every night.
They want. There you go.
They have one channel of just Sunset Boulevard.
24/7.
Yeah, I think Apple's going to compete more with Netflix than Disney, in my opinion, because I think Disney is a different style of content than
But-
Netflix.
People have a limited amount of money for this,
Right.
right? Because everything has a streaming service now. I'm getting ready to launch mine. Everything has a streaming service now. So there's a limit to how many $14.99 a month programs you're going to sign up for. So people are going to have to make decisions. And I think it's going to boil down to one or two that people are going to be willing to pay for. Because you got to remember, it has to be an alternative to cable.
It'd
And
still
what's
be
going to
cheaper
happen
than
with cable? What's going to happen with network television? I mean, that's already on the ropes. So I can't remember the last time I actually watched network television. I still have
See,
it.
I do. Yeah.
Do you?
I mean, yeah. Because there are so many shows that I like coming back this fall that I record. I mean, I guess I could go to apps or whatever and watch them, but I want to watch it on my, I like sitting down and watching it sometimes in real time, not just whenever I want to.
Oh, commercials.
Well,
My
that's what
kids love
TiVo's
commercials.
for.
Unless they're mine. Unless the
Ferris
commercials
gets
are
mad
mine,
at me
I'm
when
not
I fast
into
forward
them.
through the commercials. He's like, "Mom, I want to watch the commercials." I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
I'm really excited about. They're bringing back Mad About You, and I loved Mad About
Me
You.
too.
They're talking about reviving Frasier.
Oh, that would be awesome.
They've got everybody on board to bring Frasier back. And I'm sorry.
Not the
if-
father.
The father's
Well,
gone.
obviously not the father.
the father.
But
Not
if
that
you
dumb.
haven't watched Frasier, if you want to watch one of the best acted, best written, funniest shows you will ever
Tell
see.
me about it.
Every episode.
Every-
episode has something in
Laugh
it.
out loud. I don't laugh out
Continue
loud
to
a lot
laugh
of
out
times.
loud.
We
Right?
watch.
Yeah.
Continue. Like the 3 or 4 times you watch it.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
We TiVo stuff we've watched a dozen times to watch before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So on our TV, we have I Love Lucy, we have Frasier. What else do we have?
Friends.
Friends. So if you fall asleep in the middle of it, it's not like you've missed something.
You're not devastated.
Because I can, some of these Frasiers and I Love Lucy's, I can recite the whole show.
Exactly.
However, I watch Frasier and I watch I Love Lucy, and do you want to know what? I've seen those I Love Lucy's dozens of times, and I still laugh at the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's that good, it's that good.
Yep. So I'd be very interested to see it. So it's not a surprise that he resigned from the board of directors. He's going to be in direct competition with Apple. But I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see how this all plays out. I'm very excited for the launch of Disney Plus in November, and I think it's going to be a massive hit because, honestly, it seems like Bob Iger can't miss.
So, not to drag this story out even further.
Well, it's the only two. We only have 2 stories, so I
Keep
stretch.
stretching. So, is this the beginning of his pulling back from his career? Is he now really going to resign from Disney, which he says he's going to do every 2 years and then doesn't?
Well,
And they offer him more
here's my feeling. I have genuine sympathy for whoever follows him. See, now Eisner really reinvented the company. Let's be honest. But Eisner stayed too long at the fair, and they started turning on him.
Well,
And-
Eisner didn't have the vision to go this step further.
And
He stopped.
so
at a certain
like
point.
they wanted him out.
Yeah.
So that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened. Iger hasn't started to stink. So it's like, do you want to walk away on top? Do you want to wait till that turn happens? Because it happens to everybody at some point in their career. But who follows him? Who follows Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Fox, now Disney Plus, not to mention the other things.
Well, I'm hoping he's running out of things to buy and then buys us. That's what I hope we're next on the list. We've acquired
that
the
be nice?
Diz, right?
Yeah. I've always said, you give me the right number, I'll give you my stuff. But okay, so let's go on to the next
All right,
story.
our next story. Real ID deadline for domestic air travel fast approaching. A deadline is fast approaching, and it could impact millions of travelers who use their state-issued driver's licenses as identification when flying domestically. The October 1st, 2020 Real ID deadline is just 13 months away, and unless the federal government delays the new requirements,
They're not going to.
all travelers will need to have a Real ID driver's license in order to use a state-issued driver's license as identification at TSA airport checkpoints. The Real ID Act of 2005 calls for states to meet minimum standards for verifying identity and added security enhancements when using driver's licenses. The law stems from the recommendations from the 9/11 Commission report that, quote, the government needs to know with certainty who's who when boarding airplanes or entering secure federal buildings. Some of the requirements that drivers must meet upon applying for a new license or renewing a license are proof of identity, proof of residence, and proof of social security number. Different states have checklists informing drivers of required documentation. It's taken over 10 years for some states to comply with the new federal requirements.
Which boggles my
Yeah,
mind.
Yes.
it's foolish.
Well, there's reasons for that too. Florida began issuing Real ID licenses in 2010, but California did not start issuing such licenses until January of 2018. Oklahoma and Oregon won't begin issuing IDs until mid-2020s. Travelers
Tree
without,
hugging hippies.
travelers without Real ID can use a passport, military ID, enhanced driver's license with limited passport information embedded, or other approved identification after the deadline has passed. Real ID driver's licenses have a star in the upper right-hand corner. States may have different designs for the star, but it will be visible in the upper right-hand corner of your license. Everyone checking their license?
Yeah, I'm checking mine right now.
I know I got mine.
Yeah, I got mine.
So what the deal is here?
My star is Deborah Messing.
So when you said why are some of them taking so long
I
to
don't
do
have
it?
a star. Oh wait, yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, it scared me.
Thank goodness.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
You're good.
So you had said why, and the problem is because you have states' rights versus the federal government, and states want to control certain things like their IDs and stuff. So there's been a lot of pushback from certain states as to how
But you
to
know
do it and
what
to put on the license.
When they passed the federal drinking age minimum of 21 years old, you know how they did it, right? To get around that, they told states, you don't have to do it, but if you don't, we're going to pull all your federal highway money.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to give you federal highway money either. So that's how the government will, kind of skirt around that states' rights issue when it wants to.
The thing is this. I think that this is actually going to make it easier for people to travel. If you have this enhanced driver's license, then it doesn't mean, why is your driver's license different, or you don't have the right ID or something like that, so that it will speed up getting on planes even better. And sometimes for these cruises that are what they call closed loop cruises in and out of a U.S. port, you can use that.
I just, no. You can't use them. You have to have a passport or a birth certificate with a race seal in order to. We found this out when we tried to do a cruise with somebody, and he did not. We thought that he could get away because he had a Real ID driver's license.
I
they wouldn't
stand
let him on the
corrected.
ship.
I could have sworn we went through this with Disney on a trip where someone had that, so I could be wrong on that. But it's going to make a lot
this is
of
going to
travel.
speed up TSA?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's gonna. It's not gonna slow it down if people don't have it.
Right.
I think that's what it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna speed it up, but I think it's if everybody's got it, if everybody's in compliance, it's not gonna slow things down, because what's gonna happen? Somebody comes up with an ID that doesn't match. That's gonna clog up the lines.
Because I don't have a star on my license yet. But I have a passport.
Right.
We also have Trusted Traveler. So that gives us another ID to use.
Single best thing I ever did in my life was,
It's $100 for 5 years.
and it's global entry, TSA Precheck, and the global entry in particular
I think Corey's dad has that too.
is
'Cause he travels so much.
It's obscene. It's how quick it is. I mean, literally, you're through customs in 10 minutes.
Nice.
So but it's going to start really impacting people on, on cruises, on any kind of transportation where ID is required. It's gonna be a problem
If they don't have it.
If they don't have it.
Yeah. I think people are going to have it. I think it's just a matter of these other states catching up and doing it. Because, I mean, I got ours when we did the enhanced driver's license just when I renewed. It was just happened when I renewed my license. It wasn't like I had to go somewhere special and have it done.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just part of the regular process of getting a new license.
Yep. So, and they've extended this a number of times now. And from what I'm hearing, they're done with the extensions. It's either you get it done or.
Well, if you said you've had 10 years to get it done.
Yeah.
That's no excuses for
Exactly.
It's one heck of an extension.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
these are governments. 10 years is not a long time to get something done.
Yeah. True.
When you're dealing with governments. That's it for the news.
Oh,
I have not a rapid fire, a housekeeping that I meant to say earlier. And
that's
forgot.
too late. I'm sorry. We've been
I'm
past
sorry.
that.
Fiasco rewind. Go all the way back to the beginning.
Let's all start everything
Start
over.
again.
Start
I
again.
just want to say thank you to a friend of ours named Rosie. Rosie sent
Riveter?
us, just Rosie for now. Rosie sent us a check for $2,000 for Give Kids the World.
Oh, isn't that
Oh,
nice?
nice.
It came to John and I. This is somebody we know through other people. And she sent a very nice check and a very nice note and wanted us to donate this to Give Kids the World.
Yep.
So a $2,000 check came in.
Give
today.
Kids the World will get
Very
half.
nice.
That's awesome.
I'm going to give them half.
That's right.
There's a
There's a
handling,
handling
fee.
fee.
involved. That was very sweet.
Thank you, Rosie.
All right, that'll do it for the news and housekeeping.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to rapid fire. John, we haven't heard your voice enough.
Really, exactly. All right, Visit Orlando's Magical Dining Month extended through October 7th. This happens every year. They do magical dining. A great deal of Orlando restaurants, including Universal and Disney, participate in it. And it's a great way to experience these restaurants. I think there's over 100 this year alone on the list. And for a set price, and you get to order off a set menu.
It's usually an appetizer, an entree, and dessert.
Yeah, it's a good deal, and it usually ends on September 30th. But because of Hurricane Dorian, they felt that it affected travel to Central Florida, so they extended that through October 7th. And again, if you just do a real quick search for Orlando Magical Dining Month, you can see all the restaurants listed. A bunch at Disney. We were just at Haleo's involved in that as well, and a couple at Universal as well. So really great opportunity. And then to go off Disney property, if you're willing to venture off Disney property, if you have a car, great way to see these restaurants that are in and around. We have world-class dining here in Orlando, so you should experience it.
Absolutely.
I want to talk just a minute about Haleo. If you're not familiar with the chef who is responsible for Haleo, you should do some research on Jose Andres. And I'm sorry, I think he's a hero, and I think he deserves a huge amount of credit and medals of honor and everything. Jose Andres is the celebrity chef that when there is a disaster anywhere in the world, his team is one of the first ones in feeding people, not only the first responders and the people that are helping, but the people in need. I am a huge fan of what he does, and I think it should be celebrated.
He just did a whole bunch of stuff in the Bahamas.
100,000
Wow.
meals in the
100,000
first
meals.
week in the Bahamas. And he has a whole team of people that he brings in, and they go in while the disaster is happening. And I just think, food's important. Food's important, especially when you don't have any. So I am a huge fan.
Yeah. And that restaurant is getting such rave.
I got to tell you, it's become my new
Reviews.
favorite restaurant.
One of our
It's
favorites.
not, and what's funny is it's not kind of like most people like it. It's still haven't eaten there yet. Every single person that's eaten there has given it just
We've been
raves
3
about it.
times already and are going next month. It's my new favorite restaurant. It's taken over everything.
I just had lunch at the new Wolfgang Puck, and I got to tell you, they reach for mediocrity.
Dang.
Is that the one that's across
was
from
an empty
Chicken Guy or
yeah.
something? Yeah, we ate there.
It was an empty restaurant. Service was abysmal.
Wow.
The food was average at best, and I'm like,
It was always like that, in my opinion.
well, I really thought with the new place, it would be better.
I kind of think Wolfgang Cook is of a time.
Yeah, and
He was very, very popular for a while with the restaurants that he created and was ahead of his time. He had things like the Asian chicken salad and the flatbreads and stuff like that. And now everybody's copied it. We ate there, and it was, you're right, it was,
Yeah,
okay.
we ate there because it was convenient.
Yeah.
It was near where we wanted to go. There was nobody. You're right. The restaurant was empty.
I
it was just
sat-
okay.
I was having a meeting, so I wasn't reviewing it, and all I said through the meal is, "Thank God, these people should thank whatever they pray to that I'm not reviewing this right now, because that would have been savage. It would have been a savage review.
You should
That's
try-
how bad it was."
You should try haleo. It's all tapas. There's very few entrees. It's all small plates to share and order for yourself. It is, and again, it's a Jose Andres restaurant, and I am hugely impressed by him.
All right. So thank you, John.
All right.
Kevin.
My rapid fire for the week is actually a video that was sent to us by our friend Dave Finan. It is a time lapse. It's a 2-minute time lapse video of the construction that was happening just before Disney World opened in 1971. And what I think is really cool about it is it shows me things that I had never seen before. I thought I had watched all of these. This one was really cool. They show the monorail being delivered. Each section of the monorail is on a flatbed car. They show them installing the beams for the monorail. There's a video, in the video they show them delivering, I don't know which of the locomotives it is, but one of the locomotives for the train. The thing that caught my attention was they show the Seven Seas Lagoon empty. All the bulwark is up so you can see what it is, but it was kind of cool to see it empty. And they keep showing the look down Main Street. And on the top of the castle, there's like a plaque that says, "Remember, opening October 71.
Like, you better start moving.
Right.
You better build it.
If you think you're on break, you're not.
You see the stores on Main Street being built, Cinderella's
it.
Castle, the Haunted Mansion. It's really, really cool.
They show the Haunted Mansion when it's just timber, which I think is really
Wow.
cool.
Wow.
But you can see it's the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
There's one scene where a worker is on the monorail, and they put the monorail on the track, and he's up on the track, and he leaps from one track to the other. And we all go, "Oh, that's different OSHA regulations." Like, I don't think that should be allowed.
We've watched this like 4 times, and every time
And how
we do
long
it,
is the video?
It's like 2
minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
But because it's time lapse, you see so much.
It's so
Yeah.
much is crammed into it. I just tweeted it out again. It's on my Twitter, Kevin L. Close at
That's
Twitter.com.
at Kevin.
It's
at
at Kevin L. Close.
I don't have to ever do that. It just, yes, that's it.
I'm on the Twitter.
on the Twitter.
I'm on the Twitter.
This is his way of trying to get more viewers than me on Twitter.
Followers.
Me?
Followers.
It's me. That's because Jen paid for 300 of them.
I didn't. I don't know.
What, 300 of them? It's his entire Italian family. He has 300 more followers than me. Do you think that's fair? And he follows 3 people.
No, 5 now.
He follows 5 people.
Oh, he's like
And
a
he
real
tweets,
celebrity. They
like,
don't follow
once in a
people
while.
either.
And he has more followers than I do. Is that
No, how many people do I follow?
So
I don't follow
our show notes, the link is going to be in the show notes page, but if you want it, you can go to my Twitter, at Kevin L. Close.
I'm following 289.
Wow.
He's following 5 people.
What's up with you?
You're one of them, so.
I was just going to look. Yes, follows you, and I'm following you.
The only reason why I follow you is so I know where you are. Oh, look, Pete's away.
I snorted.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Eric, I don't think you had time to prepare one.
What have you been doing, Eric?
Did you?
Really?
I didn't.
Make one up now.
Oh,
Let's just leave the camera on him in silence for a little bit.
until it just runs out.
Let him think about what he's done. Okay. I forgot to tell you to put one together. He's rarely on the Tuesday show. That's why I wanted him on today, because he's, and people love you, and you're always a great addition to the show. So I thought
Except for right now.
Thank you.
Except for right now when you have no content. But all right. So Julie's
Sorry, that's
prepared.
so mean to you. Okay. Morimoto Asia in Disney Springs to host a MorimotoFest October 6th. That's one day before Corey's birthday, everyone. So, in the
Right, 10,
spirit...
7,
Why they're doing it?
Yeah, let's say they are.
Ooh, lucky Corey.
In the spirit of Oktoberfest, Morimoto Asia in Disney Springs will be hosting an afternoon of autumn-inspired sips and chef-driven savories. Who wrote this? Jackie. I love her words. From 10 of their favorite local breweries during the festival. So it's from 12:30 to 3 on October 6th, which is a Sunday. They're going to be pairing Pan-Asian bites at 10 accompanying food stations, showcasing everything from their sushi. There'll be a raw bar, ramen noodles, dumplings, stir fry, and of course their signature spare ribs. There will be a fall-themed craft beer there are a few breweries. So Crooked Can, Red Light, Cask and Larder, Sideward Brewing, Hourglass, that's near me. Orange County Brewers, Tactical, Bowigens. Am I saying that right? Bowigens? I don't know. I don't drink beer. Motoworks and The Tank. There'll be live entertainment provided by DJ Jimmy Jocelyn. Spinning tunes all afternoon, it says. And there will be exclusive merchandise. So if you're the kind of person who's into like buying like a concert tee or things like that, you can actually memorialize this event for yourself.
As long as there's those ribs there.
$55 per adult.
And when is it?
$25 per child.
October 6th?
This is a beer festival.
Oh, I'll have to just fly back from Europe early for that.
And it's
Crooked
for children
Can is really
ages
good.
4 to 12. The $25
Is it better
fee.
than London or Paris?
No.
Okay.
That's the right
you
answer.
can also get premium seating. If you are a party of 4, you can have a private booth with a dedicated butler for $500.
Oh.
Is this at Morimoto?
It's like kind of out front, like it's kind of like
So
a
they're going
street
to build
kind of
a
thing.
special location for it with special
And then
booths?
that Irish restaurant is going to put those clog dancers
But it's
outside.
only from 12, it's only from 12:30 to 3. I feel like $500 is a lot of money.
a lot
for
of
only
money.
a
Yeah,
few
it's a lot of
hours.
money.
Raglan Road is going to have that fiddle out front.
I mean, I think they did this last year too, if I'm not mistaken. It does sound like fun, but
Sure.
Okay.
The ribs. The only thing that sounds good is the ribs.
I really like ramen and dumplings. I'd be there for that.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Fiasco.
Yes. So, Disney's Animal Kingdom is going to be added to the New Year's Eve festivities. So, Walt Disney World is always a great place to celebrate New Year's Eve, and this year, Animal Kingdom is being added to the act. It's just been announced that it will be open until midnight on December 31st, 2019.
What are they going to do at midnight?
First of all, they're going to have to wake the animals up, pushing on the giraffe.
Well, they're going to have to sedate the animals
Yeah, for fireworks. That's true.
because they can't do fireworks at
But
Animal
it's
Kingdom.
open until midnight. Here's your kiss. Get out.
12:01.
Those poor workers are like, man, we always got out of this.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
So is there going to be a party of some sort? Is there going to be things?
Yeah, so throughout the park on New Year's Eve, guests will find DJs in Asia, Dinoland, Discovery Island, and a special New Year's Eve themed sips and eats will be offered. As midnight approaches, guests can gather in Discovery Island or Asia to watch the New Year's Eve countdown featuring music and lighting displays on the Tree of Life. There will also be a special pin trading opportunity, and limited edition New Year's Eve pins will be offered for purchasing beginning that evening.
Well, we know where Fiasco's going to be.
Yeah, there you go. You found out.
And you'll still be able to find them the following week for sale at all of the pin locations.
Yep.
The cost of the event is for the animal tranquilizers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
Just a
Like I
light
said,
show on the tree.
Someone's going to take a flashlight and click it on and off on that big tree. And look, there's a lion. Look, there's an eagle. Look, it's going to be great.
It's
All right.
11:59. Get out.
All right, thank you, Fiasco. Before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about this article that was written by one of our contributors on the Diz. His name is David Tubbs. And it caught my eye because it's a great title, the 10-Step Guide to Not Being a Jerk at Walt Disney World. And David's a little angry.
He's a little angry.
David's a little angry,
He's a little
which I connect with. You know, I connect with. I agree with pretty much everything that's in this article. So that's why I thought, let's talk about it. Number one on his
I
list.
actually came up with some of my own.
Oh, you have a few of your own. We're going to add to this. It's going to be a 20-step list by the time we're done. Number one on his list: drive like a human being. And he talks about how confusing the roads can get, especially right now if you're trying to navigate I-4. It's not too bad between downtown and the tourist area, but if you're anywhere north of downtown, you take
It's
your
horrendous.
life. It's
rough.
absolutely, that's the direction you have to come when you come here. It's like you're taking your life into your hands.
But you do know it's one of the deadliest roads in all of the United States. It's been rated.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
rated.
Yes.
I-4?
Yeah, every day that you drive on that, you are taking your life into your own hands.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So it's even worse when you got tourists on the road because your head's not in it, right? We say it all the time that, you know, a lot of times they check their brains at the airport. But he also points out, and this is that's less of an issue for me than this one: use your turn signals, follow the instructions of cast members, and for God's sakes, please go to the end of the row when you park. I hate those people that, you know, the row's open, you have to go all the way down to the end. I realize it's a longer walk, but that's the way it is. And they decide, no, I'm going to pull in here.
And then sometimes it throws everyone else off that's part
And then everybody says,
Yeah.
oh, no, I can park there too.
Yeah.
So I absolutely agree with that.
Here's the deal with this, though. As when I was a cast member, one of the things they said to us was, you have to assume that other people on the road are all tourists and they're not paying attention. So you have to take the responsibility of being a defensive driver. That people are just on vacation and they're not, and they go from the innermost lane to the outermost lane
Oh,
to
that's
catch
the most
an
annoying
exit.
thing.
So you just have to be more aware and just drive safer. That's just the way it is.
I'm all about using the turn signals. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Not
Yeah,
enough
no,
people,
it's-
not enough regular Floridians use their turn signals.
I
That's the
feel-
law, so, yep, I'm with that too.
I feel grateful that a professional driver, my father, taught me how to drive. And I got to be honest, I'm really grateful for that because I have remembered everything that he taught me. Now, he also taught me how to drive with 2 feet, which I'm not supposed to do. But when you're driving in New York City, you need to be able to drive with both feet. I don't use it here. but
Both like on one pedal.
You have 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas, and
Yeah.
you're alternating back and
But he
forth.
meant he
Going
was
from-
using his feet
going
to
from the
steer.
gas.
You gotta use 2 feet.
He thought you meant the steering wheel.
Yes.
I want to see this.
So, all right, number 2, understand how a security line works. Amen, Brother David. Amen. Some tips that he offers, I'm going to add to this. Don't fight with the security staff when they ask to see inside your purse or your backpack. Have your bags out for a quick search before getting to the checkpoint. Big one right there. Because these people get up there and like it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Those same people are in the Publix, though. They're the ones who let that woman ring up all $300 worth of their groceries and then get their wallet out. And it's like, are you surprised you have to pay?
exactly. Use both sides of the table. Both sides are lines. And please leave your guns and weapons at home. I will add in your alcohol as well. It's not allowed in the park. You can buy it in there. You just can't bring it in from the outside.
Side note. Also, if you have multiple zippers or pockets on your bag,
Open 'em up.
make sure all of those are already unzipped. They want to see inside every little nook and cranny.
That's what I do. As soon as I get in that line, my backpack or whatever I have comes off, every zipper gets opened. I just get up there, look in it, go. Mm-hmm. But we all know that doesn't happen.
I hand my stuff to Kevin and then go through the no bag.
Number 3, follow common courtesy parade protocol. Disney parades are a daily occurrence at the park, especially at the Magic Kingdom. If you're trying to line up for a parade hours before, go where the cast members ask you to go. The parade route is virtually set in stone, and sometimes 10 to 20 minutes before the parade is set to come near an area, you may have to move. You cannot sit in the street, first of all. You are and if you are that person that shows up 5 minutes before the parade, you are not standing in front of me. Your children can, but you cannot. And if you are that person up front and someone asks you, is it all right if our children stand in front of you? Don't be a douche. Let the kids stand in front of you. I have seen that happen so many times. People say, no, I'm sorry.
I would also say if you're one of those people who sits on the curb, gentlemen, before the parade starts and people are still using the street and you have on wide-legged shorts, be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, really.
More than once you walk down the middle of the street and you think,
Nope,
boys,
this big Jim and the twins.
boys, knees together.
Boy, I just checked the message that came through and came into the middle of that conversation. Wow.
When was the last time you sat on a curb?
Yeah, really. No, I'm just saying. I didn't realize this was happening. Don't put your kids on your shoulders.
Don't put your kids on your shoulders.
Please
If you
don't.
buy one of those $45 balloons, it doesn't have to be at eye level.
Especially during fireworks. If you have to use a 12-inch iPad Pro as your camera, you're an idiot. Okay? Buy a camera. Better yet, buy a cell phone. Every one of them has a camera in it.
And no one wants to watch your crappy videos after your vacation anyway.
That's right, except ours.
There's
People
a
actually
difference in
watch it.
professional
Yeah.
photography and the person who wants to, film the stage show so they can take it back to work and show everybody who doesn't want to see it.
Exactly. Number 4, walk with awareness. There's nothing quite as frustrating as trying to walk down Main Street, USA, or up to Animal Kingdom's Tree of Life and being jolted by a single person or group, suddenly stopping and turning around. Walk through Disney parks with some semblance of your surroundings. Sure, I understand you might not have a perfect understanding of where you are headed throughout the parks, but that doesn't mean you have to walk in a group 6 wide down a walkway, blocking others, or stop abruptly to have a chat with some of your group without moving to the side.
Amen to the walking shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Why
Or
do
the
you
ones
have
that
to-
are holding hands.
Oh no, those I want to get a
Should
wheelchair,
scream Red Rover,
a
Red
wheelchair,
Rover.
and just ram that line. I can't stand when people do that. One of the things most frequently will be heard out of my mouth at a theme park is, "Oh, that's right, you're the only person in the world." Because these people act like they are the
Yeah, you
only
have to be
person in
considerate.
existence.
And they're upset when they change direction on a dime and you're behind them. And you think, you're in a crowded place. You kind of have to be aware of who's around you.
It's like driving. You can't just stop in the middle of the
Right.
road
I was
when
gonna
there's
say
other
that
people.
too.
You have to pull
Also,
over.
if there's a crowd, treat it like you're driving your car. Stay to the right, people.
Yeah, that's true
well,
too.
Okay.
Maybe,
I was at Disneyland one time, and there's that little place right by that, what used to be the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse.
Tarzan's.
And I literally stood on a chair and I was like, you move to the right. You travel to the left. Because they all just stood. I was literally standing on a chair and directing traffic because no one was moving.
If we all just go the right way,
Right.
traffic would go. But people
And
go
I did
ahead
get
on.
traffic moving. So if you were there and I screamed at you, I'm not sorry.
My favorite is when there really isn't that bad of a crowd, because I can feel like moving through people traffic when there's a big crowd. It's like it's gonna happen. But when the park is relatively dead, but then somebody just walks out in front of you and then stops and just
Yeah.
looks bewildered, like where am I even? Am I in that's
How
the
did I
worst.
get
and
to
if
the
you
Magic
need
Kingdom?
to be on your phone, also step to the side.
Yeah.
Find a sidewalk. Find a shady spot so you can actually see your screen.
Second most common thing you will hear come out of my mouth in a theme park is hang up and walk.
Well, here's the other thing too, though. I'm sorry, but Disney has sort of created an additional problem
Yeah.
with the apps and stuff, because everyone is looking at their phone for the app and their fast pass time and all of that. So I think that Disney has created
Right,
more to
and
that.
if it's a matter that I have to glance at my phone or I have to switch screens or something, and I can do this where I'm looking at it, but then really being mindful, that's one thing. It's another thing when I'm walking.
I get right in their face and scream, hello.
Especially when they're coming at you and they walk right
Right,
into
they
you.
walk right into you. I understand.
Number 5 is have stroller courtesy. I think this one speaks for itself.
Okay. Ferris cannot walk as far as most of us, so we have invested in a stroller that holds a larger child, up to like 100-something pounds. Okay. If I'm walking at my full speed, pushing this stroller with my almost 100-pound child in it, I cannot stop on a dime when you step out in front of me because you think you're faster. I'm going to start running over you people so you can see.
They think that because you've left a little gap so you don't hit someone's heels, that's a reason to go in front of you.
Like driving on the LIE.
Well,
It's just common courtesy that if it's a wheelchair or a stroller, you see them coming, just stop.
Well, anyone that has ever been with someone in a wheelchair in the theme parks or someone who's using an ECV, my mother, you don't exist. You don't exist.
True.
And I say to my mother, she's so worried about hitting somebody. And I say, Ma, if they jump in front of you, it's a moving vehicle. There's a fine line between accident and natural selection. So
called thinning
what
the
do
herd.
it?
Yeah.
It's called thinning the herd. Exactly. And this is especially true with strollers. Look, I understand you have kids, and I understand you're at Walt Disney World. But you've got to have some basic self-awareness of what you're doing.
And hold doors. When you see a stroller, a double stroller trying to come through, don't drop the door on the poor mom. If she's alone, especially if there's no one there to help her, hold the door. I do that on a regular basis anywhere I go.
In general, you should be holding
Yeah.
the door for the people anyway.
It's the
but that
happiest
doesn't-
place on earth. That just be decent.
Number 6, treat characters with respect. I think we can all get behind that. I don't think that's particularly controversial,
Except for if they're the ones from Zootopia, then
which is what's in the picture.
oh, good God. You can be rude to those people.
Brother Boar.
Number 7, don't yell at anyone. Well, I don't know about that.
Then they should not do things that make us yell.
Some people need to be yelled at, David. Some people need to be yelled
How
at.
about let's stick to yelling at your own family?
Yes,
okay?
yes, Miss Crawford.
Yeah.
We won't do things that make you yell at us.
Don't make me angry.
There really isn't,
this is
you know.
especially true with cast members.
Yeah.
The number of people I see yelling at cast members, this is really even more true in guest services.
You point something out also that's really true too is if a ride's down, it's not the cast member's
Right,
fault.
exactly.
Stop you telling them how terrible it is and how much money you spent on this vacation.
Going back to yelling, we have a friend named Lauren, and she and her husband have what they call whisper fights. And I think everyone should now take this on. This should be Lauren's thing. When you're having a disagreement with someone in your family and you whisper fight.
Whisper.
Number 8, please remember thank you and sorry. And excuse me. Excuse me, sorry. But please and thank you go a long way. He points out that he's Canadian. So yeah, you're working at a disadvantage in the United States immediately with this.
Yep.
He says that common politeness seems to take a noticeable back seat when I venture to Orlando. And I am not going to paint my fellow countrymen as all impolite and boorish and insensitive. I will say that when you put a number of those people into a confined space in 95-degree heat with ridiculous crowds, and they've spent God knows how much money, and their kid is crying, politeness is bound to go out the window. That's not an excuse for it. That doesn't
And when
excuse
you throw
it.
in different people from different cultures
gonna
where
say.
they just have different ways of life than you. So.
Well, you hear this all the time. Well, I paid a lot for this vacation. That's too bad because everyone else got in for free. You nitwit. It's like there's a sense of entitlement.
Right. But I agree with her that you also, again, you have different cultures visiting. So there are things like personal space and
Bob told you how to handle that. Stand wide.
Or just pass gas. I'll back people up.
Yeah, I can't do that on command.
I can't
clear
either.
them out.
I'm just saying.
Stand wide.
Oh, excuse
That's
me.
what I do. I stand wide. I kind of do almost like the splits. Like I do not want you next to me.
Well, I know, like, even if my children accidentally step on someone, like, that we're walking behind and they're not kind of paying attention, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And usually most people are very polite, especially when it's a child who's bumping into them. What I notice is that when it's adult on adult, that you tend to be more like, oh, like, you know, seriously, not me, but maybe the other person. Or if someone bumps into me and they just keep walking, I'm like, excuse you. I mean, you know, I was standing
Or if I hold the door for somebody and they just walk through and don't say thank you,
I say
I will
thank you.
literally,
Yeah.
audibly, so they can hear it, you're welcome.
Oh, Kevin does that too.
To the point
I-
where they might have hearing loss.
I enjoy when people bump into me in crowds because I think that it's, you know, I will move, and they wind up bouncing backwards. It's like, where did that wall come from?
I have a short share. Eating breakfast at Garden Grill.
What does that mean?
I was
Short hairs.
Short story.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I have a short little story to share that involves this. Eating breakfast at Garden Grill. We're about to be done, and our cinnamon bun is still sitting on the table, but we're done. We're not going to eat it anymore. But the family sits down at the table next to us, and the kid comes over, probably about 3, maybe 4, and then just picks a piece of the cinnamon bun off, and nobody says anything. And we're like, okay, that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things I would add to this. You're the only people who think your children are adorable. Okay? And I get it. I understand. And I'm very patient when it comes to the children. What I'm not patient with is you thinking that whatever your child does is just so darn cute. Because I'm not gonna kick the kid. I will come over and kick you. Because if you have no awareness of the fact that your child is now picking food off of someone else's plate, then there's a reason the Division of Youth and Family Services was created.
Talk about gross. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, like, they didn't know
Well,
you.
it's
or
just, you know,
family.
they don't know
kids
me.
running around wild and stuff in places where they're obviously disturbing other people, and the parents say nothing.
I could be crazy. They don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Number 9, don't cut in line.
That's a given.
That's a given.
Yeah.
But certain cultures don't necessarily subscribe to that.
And when they tell you and you're in line, I'm just going up to meet the rest of my party. John and I are wide enough to block the aisle, and I say, point them in. I'll call them back so they can stand with you.
They can backtrack back here. But it goes beyond culture too. It goes to this fact that there seems to be a mentality that if I get in line, I can then invite 15 people to come up in line
Right.
with me.
It's one thing if it's one person. Or it's
Right.
like, you see a mother and a little kid and you figure, okay, the kid had to go to the bathroom. They had to get out of line. It's what happened, so you let them through. That's fine. It's when it's 17 teenagers.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're catching up with our friend. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Stand wide. It works in a lot of situations.
Yep. Number 10, know that no one is out to ruin your trip. A lot of us who have visited Disney World several times have likely overheard this sentence, thanks, you've just ruined my trip. No one is out to make your life more difficult while at Walt Disney World and make you regret spending your money there. The ride that broke down isn't the end of the world. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. But keep moving and find something else fun to do. You're in Walt Disney World. Again, I get that people spend a lot of money and they want to get the most out of this trip, but they have to also remember, so did everybody else that's there that day. So it's just about a little basic human decency goes a long way. So, but I thought this was a great article.
I love it. Yeah.
Want to thank David for writing it and letting us put it up on the site and giving me something more to talk about today. But with that is going to do it for this week's show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next Tuesday with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Have a great week, everyone, and remember, stay out of the damn planks.